Twitch viewers, Ashley Winsong here, always searching for new stories and dreaming new dreams, and once again, I am the only viewer here. Honestly, I shouldn't be surprised. Oh well. Anyway, today I'm actually, well, I was planning on doing a Danganronpa game, but I decided to do something a little different, but part of the usual, since once in a while I'll do reaction videos. Excuse me, on this channel, and I apologize for the little belch, but I'm also drinking some tea. And yes, I know it's technically pretty darn close to summer, but it is a pretty cool day. And also, I also got the fan on because I am a paranoid little brat. Although at least this fan is working much better than the one I had before. I mean, seriously, just take a look. See, it's actually one of those standing fans, and this thing was surprisingly enough around, I think, $22 at Family Dollar. Pretty cheap, and it has been working beautifully so far. And there we go. For that cheap of a price, this is actually pretty darn good. Again. And, oh, right. Gotta angle it a bit because my method of watching videos has actually changed a little bit. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get to it. Well, first, let me get the remote on, because I really should learn how to use this thing properly. The question is, which one is... Shoot. Yeah, seriously, one of these days, I really do need to play around with this before stream. Let's see, blah blah blah, live scene. Wait, what, shouldn't there be more? Odd. Very, very odd. Doesn't even give the whole... Must be something new with the updates and everything. Oh well, I guess it's back to doing it manually. And there we go. And nope, not that one. And well, not that one either. There we go. And so that you know, today I am actually doing a reaction to a video series called A Better Love Story Than Twilight 4, Alethornication, Part 3 through 5. Now, for the reason for this is, well, maybe a brief history would be better. Basically, this is actually a video series by Obab Scribbler and her friends, and in the past they have actually done these April Fool's videos, and funny enough, they actually have something of a story in them, where the fanfic readers and voice actors and writers end up going through some rather interesting antics. And about, was it 2-3 years ago? And of course the stain is... I still gotta learn this stain. Anyway, about a few years ago, the latest one ended up with a body switching fiasco, and Wooten, oh boy. Yeah, long story short, he ended up biting off more than he could chew, since he's the one who started this whole mess, because he tried to get Scribbler to read clockfic, and I'm not going to explain what that is. Anyway, for this one, this one's actually taken much longer than it probably should, but for these guys, it's actually understandable, since they've got lives of their own. So this whole thing actually started about a year ago, and so far, at least as of now, they finally gotten up to part 5, and I'll admit, I had not done a reaction video for the last 3 parts for God knows how long, and one of these days I really gotta get those reaction videos out on my YouTube channel soon. And yeah, basically, Thornquill, one of the brony readers, he's basically had enough of these shenanigans, so now he's gotten a little power craze, since he's using alicorn magic to do all this. And yes, they are in their pony forms. understandable when you think about it. Let me just to see if, well, because there's a delay on my tablet. This is part of the reason I make sure that everything is actually running good, despite the lag, so to speak. That's good. Anyway, might as well get to it, especially since hopefully by at least 7:30 I'll be able to get it all done. Alright? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. And the reason I want to get this done at least around 7 is because Fox at the Door is having his stream afterwards, so yeah. I don't want to miss that. One of these days, I gotta remember to make popcorn or something. I'll have fornication. Oh, and also, the narrator is Despio, and he is very talented.
I thought the Princess of Friendship would be, well, friendlier,
said Midori as they galloped away from the castle.
The narrators have a somewhat checkered history with Princess Twilight and her friends.
Gee, I
Cloudy
think.
panted.
It was a long shot, but it was worth a try. Now, keep running before she catches us.
Mommy huffed.
Wait, what?
I can't believe she said she's glad everyone got kidnapped.
Panda wailed.
Okay,
It wasn't Mama Luna's fault that everything went to heck in a hoof basket last year, or the year before, or the year before. Ow!
She cried out as she cannoned into a pony who had rudely been going about their daily business and not looking out for 4 mares careening wildly down Ponyville's streets.
Whoopsie-doodle!
The pony, whom Panda had laid flat, bounded back to her feet and hopped in place like a sugar-filled jackrabbit.
Hi there! Oh, wow! I don't think I've ever seen you around here before.
Oh,
that
boy.
means I have to throw you a welcome to Ponyville party. Only,
She bit her lip, eyes darting behind her.
I kind of am sort of totally in the middle of something right now, but I will totally throw you a party just as soon as the place I usually throw parties gets its roof back. On account of some big old meaty pants ripped it off, and now the place is all open, which isn't great because we're supposed to have rain later, and I need to find Rainbow Dash to see if she can call in a favor with her old buddies at the Weather Factory to get the storm postponed until after we get things all fixed up. And oh wow, I've never even asked your names. Hi. I'm Pinkie Pie. Nice to meet ya.
Wow.
Midori struggled
Pinky.
to keep up with the babble.
I'm Midori.
Hi, Midori.
That's
Pinkie
Pie
Pie
for
all
ya.
but pumped her foreleg right off at the shoulder with the force of her greeting.
That's Pinkie Pie for you, alright.
Didn't I see you in Sugar Cube Corner earlier? Right when the roof went bye-bye?
Her blue eyes
Yep.
widened.
You were one of the narrators who got pilfered by that party-pooping periwinkle pony!
Yeah.
Yep.
That was my boyfriend. We're, actually in the middle of trying to figure out a way to rescue him and his friends.
Midori said, reflexively apologetic. After their encounters with Applejack, Princess Twilight's militant student with the dumb haircut, and the
Hey.
angry young dragon with the sore tail at the foot of the castle, she braced herself for another angry tirade of unhelpfulness.
Oh, wow!
Pinkie Pie's mouth became a small O.
That sounds really admirable. You must love him a lot to go and do a thing like that.
Aww.
The narrators have
She seemed to struggle for words.
It's okay, Pinky. You don't have to say it.
Reputation? Yeah, we'd noticed.
That,
Mommy offered.
you can say that
Nobody
again.
seems to like them.
we like him fine. We just preferred if they didn't keep pulling us all into their stories where we die, go insane and then die, go insane and make our friends die, go insane and make our friends die, and then we die ourselves, or eat vegetables.
She pulled a face like this last crime was the worst imaginable.
She does have a point.
Actually, that sounds totally reasonable.
Yeah.
Mommy admitted. Pinkie Pie
Since
giggled.
a lot of stuff they do read and does
Then
involve
it's
a
settled.
lot of
I'll
grim
come
dark.
along and help you rescue them.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Just let me go tell Dashy about the storm thing first. Wait here, I'll be right back.
With
Wait,
that,
what?
she wiggled her butt like a puppy trying to play, then jumped so high they lost sight of her. shouted a voice from a cloud.
Pinkie Pie,
Mommy,
don't question
Midori,
it.
Cloudy, and Panda stared upwards.
So that just happened.
Mommy said at last. In what
Again,
seemed an
it's
absurdly
Pinkie Pie.
short amount of
Don't
time,
question it.
Pinkie Pie landed amongst them again.
Dashy's coming too!
Wait, what?
She beamed wide enough to split her face in two,
She is?
echoed
She is?
Cloudy.
Uh-huh. She said something about me not being around narrators on my own on account of cupcakes and rockets and insanity or something. She was babbling a bit and I wasn't really paying attention. She'll be back from the weather factory in a flash and then we can go get...
A multicolored bullet shot amongst them.
Going! Hi, Dashy!
Hey, Pinks.
Rainbow Dash eyed the other four mares dubiously.
Can't exactly blame
I'm
her.
here as Pinkie Pie's bodyguard, I guess. That's pretty cool of you.
Said Cloudy. For a moment, Dash stared at her.
Uh-oh.
Do I know you?
Hmm?
Your voice sounds really familiar. I was just thinking the same thing.
Oh my
I
god!
feel like I've heard you screaming and crying before.
Oh my god!
Dash blinked.
Pinkie, why is it when you pick up strays, you always pick the weirdest ones?
Just lucky, I guess.
Pinkie beamed.
So, should we get going?
Get going where?
Asked Midori.
We have no idea where Thornquill took them.
That's
or
actually a fair
why,
point.
or anything.
A tiny tear gathered in the corner of her eye.
Aww.
My poor Gumi.
Pinkie's mane and tail wilted.
Gosh, I'm sorry.
Instantly, Midori found herself swept into a bone-crushing hug.
Oh.
Pinkie promise we'll get your Gumi back, and everybody else.
Oh.
And as everyone knows, you can't break a Pinkie promise.
She held Midori out to
Yeah.
wink at her.
So
Fair
everything
enough.
will be A-okay, okay?
Midori tried to reinflate her lungs.
Aw.
I think that means I totally and completely believe you, and I promise you I'll pot pies in my future.
Supplied Mommy. Midori snapped to attention.
Mommy!
Mommy feigned innocence.
What?
Pinkie Pie laughed.
No need to go that far. I'm just happy to help if it makes you smile.
She really is.
Dash mumbled.
It's really disturbing sometimes how far she'll go to make creatures smile.
You say disturbing, I say encouraging.
Pinkie's words became a shriek. Her left hind leg abruptly whirled in an impossible circle, and her mane seemed to explode in a riot of even curlier curls.
Pinkie
She
Pie?
dropped Midori and spun in place, kicking up dust, and... Were those actual sparkles coming from her nose?
Huh?
She flipped end over end, bounced over Rainbow Dash, and came to land in a gigantic ceramic plant pot.
Wow, that was a heck of a doozy.
Huh?
Pinks, you okay?
Wait, what?
What's with your hair?
Dash stared. Pinkie grinned up from under the sharply angled arrow her forelock had become.
Wait, what?
No matter which way she turned her head, it kept pointing in the same direction,
I think I know where to find them.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. It's now a compass?
said Cloudy,
Excuse me?
said Panda, said Midori,
Bitch.
said Mommy. Dash sighed.
Don't question it. Seriously,
Agreed.
just don't.
Yeah, agreed. Still, as Josh Scorch would say, convenient! Although in this case, we're gonna need that inconvenience. Big time. Oh,
Thornquill recognized the whoosh of a portal of pure darkness,
uh-oh.
but did not turn around.
You're really taking this whole evil alicorn thing to the nth degree, aren't you?
Cygnus said mildly.
What is that, a cape? Did Edna
Yeah.
Mode teach you nothing?
Earlier,
I'm not
kind of helped him
evil,
with the
just
getting
vengeful.
Aliqua.
Same difference.
Did you want something?
To see how you're doing, actually.
Cygnus craned his neck back.
And maybe admire your decor. You really built this place in less than a week?
Apparently, an alicorn's natural instinct is to build castles.
Well, that would explain Castle Porno last year.
Thorny's
Yeah.
expression darkened.
No, that was pure Wooten.
Speaking of which, where is he?
In answer,
Oh boy.
Thorny waved one hoof in a wide arc.
Oh, somewhere in adult fiction.
Wait. What?
Get out of there,
Thorny's
dude.
horn flashed briefly,
Get
and a
out of there.
candelabra flared to life.
Oh my.
Yeah, get out of there.
Cygnus looked up,
Now.
and up, and up.
At first, I just wanted to put the narrators somewhere they couldn't do any damage until May 1st.
Thorny's tone remained almost conversational, which was a level of disturbing even Cygnus was beginning to grasp.
Then I thought, well, they have allies, right? Ponies and creatures who would come and rescue them.
Oh God.
So I
He did
made
it.
some preemptive strikes, shall we say.
Oh no.
And when I organized everyone by genre, it made so much sense to have voice actors placed next to where I'd planned to put the fic readers. And then the analysis community slotted so neatly into place next to them.
Oh no.
And then animators, and that segued into fan artists, and then I couldn't forget the fanfic authors who give the narrators so many bad ideas.
Holy.
And then I thought, well, wouldn't the world be a better place if they could just indefinitely go away instead of just for a month?
Dude, get
Which
out of there.
actually is kind of a concept I'm still workshopping, so don't quote me on that.
Thorny.
Cygnus did not technically need to swallow, being comprised of pure shadow, but his throat did constrict a little.
Did you turn the entire Brony fandom into books and put them in your library?
No, not all the fandom.
Thorny smiled. His horn glowed.
Yet.
Cygnus ran for a portal. In the archive, he was king. In this dimension, he was powerful. But, well, not quite as powerful as an alicorn.
Oh no.
Even one he had created in his pocket dimension and then unleashed upon the world for shits and giggles.
I think I may have fucked up.
You think?
Just a little.
He thought, right before his world turned papery.
No! You idiot! You should have gotten out there faster! And sooner!
Does she ever stop singing?
Sure.
Nope.
Sometimes she's talking. Or eating. Or both.
Flapping along beside the hot air balloon, Midori watched Pinky bounce around the wicker interior.
Is it, safe for her to be doing that?
Hey, Pinks. How far now?
Rainbow Dash asked. It was like she had flipped a switch. Pinkie Pie stopped bouncing to hook her forelegs over the edge of the basket. Her mane seemed to strain to get away from her like a dog at the end of its leash. Her tongue stuck out of her mouth in thought.
Not far.
That is not totally unhelpful.
Mommy said from behind her.
That still doesn't tell us
Also,
much, though.
please stop rattling the basket, or I will hurl again.
Again?
Panda asked.
Oh boy.
Let's just say Applejack's chimney is fuller than it was before and may smell weird when they next light a fire.
Oh dear.
Serves her right for not agreeing to help us.
Ew.
Oof,
Cloudy pulled a
that's
face.
kind of mean.
Hey, you'd rather I Technicolor yawned all over you? Didn't think so.
Pinkie Pie's hooves started to jitter.
Oh, sorry.
For
Her
what?
voice became a vibrato as her whole body started to shake so violently that every pony else in the basket had to cling to the sides to avoid being thrown out.
I can't help it. Whoa.
What
Her
Pinkie
head
Pie
turned
says
a
is this
full
now?
360 degrees, then spun back the other way and confetti burst from her ears.
Huh?
She bucked, kicking both hind legs in turn, then fell into a heap.
Wowie zowie. That's a new one.
She did not, however, sound pleased at this.
Uh-oh.
What did that mean, Pinks?
Neither did Rainbow Dash, which frankly made everyone else in their vicinity break into a cold sweat.
I don't blame him.
Was it a doozy?
Nuh-uh.
Pinkie Pie shook her head.
It was a floozy.
Floozy.
A what?
Wait, what?
Pinkie Pie's face was a mask of distress.
Something that Granny Pie told me about when I was just a little filly. It's legendary in our family. I've never had one before. I'm not even sure what it means.
Her explanation was interrupted by the loud noise of Mommy attempting to turn herself inside out over the edge of the basket.
Ugh.
Look out below!
Cloudy called desperately.
Oh.
A distant shriek told them
Uh-oh.
all that whoever was below had not looked out. Or maybe they had, and that had been even worse. Ew.
Ugh.
No, wait. Worse was the shotgun the pony below pulled out and fired on the balloon.
What?
What the fuck?
Holy
Mama
smokes!
dived for cover.
Hey, you unicorns! How about you use your magic for something useful?
Why are you even in the basket? You have wings.
Cloudy shouted back.
I don't know. It might be because the author forgot I'm a Pegasus until she'd already written in a frankly horrific vomit joke, and then decided to double down on it instead of go back and rewrite stuff.
Another shotgun blast bounced off Cloudy's shield spell.
Jeez, what a lazy author.
Panda yelled.
Yeah, you'd think she'd plan this sort of thing in advance to stop that from happening.
That'd involve forethought, though, and she's probably really
That's a
shitty
lot
at that.
more fourth wall breaking than
Can we stop
expected.
talking about this now and get on with the plot?
Yeah.
Get out of the balloon!
Make me! It's full of bullets out there!
Good point.
Yeah.
Rainbow Dash grabbed Midori and jumped into the basket.
Wait, what?
Move over, please.
Well, fair enough. What?
Panda looked up.
What's the capacity for ponies riding in this hot air balloon?
Oh,
I'm
no.
not sure.
Pinkie replied.
Why?
Panda peered over the edge.
Because we're going down.
Oh,
That's
shoot.
what she said.
No, really.
Another shotgun blast bounced off the shield, making them all wince,
We're getting closer to the ground.
Uh-oh.
said Rainbow Dash,
Uh-oh.
said Cloudy,
Uh-oh.
said Midori,
Bitch!
said Mommy.
Pinky!
Pinkie Pie threw up her forehooves.
Splashdown.
What?
What?
Moments later, there was no need for what? There was, however, a need for, oh crap, that's the river, I
Wait,
can't
what?
swim, and...
Hey, look.
Pinkie leaned out, nearly appending the basket and toppling them all into the water until Dash and Mommy grabbed her and pulled her back in.
My main arrow was still pointing this way. We're still going in the right direction.
Huh. That's good to know.
Midori coughed up a small fish.
Ugh.
Joy.
Mommy's face was a pale shade of green.
Did I mention that on top of getting airsick, I get
Seasick.
seasick too?
Gumi, you had better be so grateful for me rescuing you. I better get veggie pot pies for days.
Man, those poor guys. And of course, it leaves off on a cliffhanger. Of course. And you know what? At least for now, because no, my dumb luck, this is gonna go on beyond 7 or 7:30. So while the credits are rolling, I'm gonna quickly pull up Fox and Ventura's Twitch channel, so this way it's prepared. If it'll let me, at least. Come on, there we go. Okay. Come on. Come on. There we go. And now, it is prepared. Man, that face. And now for part 4. Still the only one watching, but it is to be you think about it, this is kind of like an alternate universe for the bronies. Whereas in the original verse, so to speak, is the TV show. So, yeah, it makes sense that they would call it the April verse because of the shenanigans. And here's part 4.
Should we do something?
Ilya looked up.
What do you suggest we do? We're locked in.
Yeah,
I just get the feeling we should be contributing more to this. Especially given previous years when we were, you know, vital integral parts of this narrative.
Ilya shrugged.
To be honest, being forcibly restrained to our home is rather liberating.
Say what?
Say what?
Well, it forces one to partake of pastimes one might ordinarily feel one is too busy to partake of.
Starry followed that train of logic right into its station.
You're watching old episodes of Glee, aren't you?
Don't judge me.
Hey, vey. Yeah, meanwhile, you have no idea if your friends are alright. And trust me, they are not alright.
Did the balloon inflate?
I don't think so. Why?
Panda looked over the edge of the basket.
We're not in the water anymore.
Say
We're
what?
pretty high in the air again.
Huh?
Mommy grabbed her own stomach.
Sweet Celestia, I don't have anything left to hurl.
Excuse me.
Wailed a swooping voice that made the wicker basket vibrate beneath their hooves in a not entirely unpleasant manner.
Say what?
Just missed me. If you had gotten any of that in my moustache, we would be having
Oh
some
my god,
very
it's Steve
strong words right now.
Magnet!
Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash exchanged a look.
Steve?
Hmm?
Steve Magnet?
Rainbow Dash darted into the air.
It is you!
In
Well,
this
I'll be
case,
darned.
and oh, well, hello there. I didn't expect to see you so far from Ponyville.
Stevie!
Pinkie leapt
Only
out of
Pinkie
the balloon
Pie.
basket.
Holy, what the fuck? Grab her!
Cloudy dived after her, but ended up hanging loosely over the edge herself, held in place mainly by Panda's teeth around her tail.
Guys? There's a sea monster under us.
Yeah, and you're a
Cease,
unicorn.
Please.
Stevie, could you please help us? We're trying to rescue some friends with our new friends.
Are we friends now?
Panda's voice was muffled around
more or
tail
less.
hair.
Any friends of yours are friends of mine, Pinkie Pie darling.
Don't drop me!
Cloudy hissed back.
And if it gets the giant sea serpent on our side against the evil, insane alicorn, then absolutely.
Evil, insane alicorn?
The
What?
swooping voice sounded slightly panicked.
Oh dear.
Not one of the princesses turned evil.
Pinkie hastily reassured.
Yeah, it's a librarian narrator pony who got given alicorn powers and went full head case.
Added Rainbow Dash.
Oh, that makes it all better, I'm sure.
The voice did not sound convinced.
Hi. He hasn't been an alicorn for long, and he's really nice, usually. He just doesn't like this time of year very much.
Midori pleaded.
Why, hello there, and who might you be? Oh, I love your taste in jewelry. Is that an onk? How
Thank
perfectly
you!
retro!
Because before they pronounced it as
I'm
egg.
Midori. My boyfriend is one of the ponies we're trying to rescue. And yeah, it's an Ankh. It was a gift from my grandmother. She told me to never take it off unless it's an emergency.
Huh?
Oh, a good luck charm. How fetch.
Well, I suppose you could call it a good luck charm, though Grandma Chekhov called it a...
Incoming!
Cloudy's shout
What?
heralded her falling onto Midori's head.
Uh-oh.
Ow!
Whoa!
And caught you. Gosh, you ponies are all so pretty these days. So fashionable, so stylish, so fetch.
The giant sea serpent
to each
plucked
his
the
own.
ruined balloon and its basket off its head and tucked it under one long arm, tumbling Cloudy, Pinkie Pie, and Midori back into it.
Aw.
I shall, of course, help such beautiful creatures in rescuing their loved ones. Who am I to stay in the path of true love and adventure? Oh, I'm positively tingly all over. I haven't been in a proper adventure since, season 1.
Are we safe?
Mommy stared up at the
Yes,
mustachioed
Mommy,
creature.
you are safe.
Safe as a bank vault.
Pinkie Pie beamed.
Stevie here is an old friend and super special awesome.
I feel like that phrase was stolen from another parody series entirely.
Now onwards! My hair will save the day!
That too.
And yet,
Wait.
it is actually
Cloudy's
from a parody
face
series.
puckered into a frown.
The Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge
Didn't
series.
Chaotic wreck the shit out of Ponyville's bank vault last year?
Pinkie Pie blinked at her.
Oh yeah, I guess it's not as safe as all that, huh?
Midori and Mommy exchanged a look.
We're gonna die, aren't we?
Guys.
Mommy croaked.
Onward to adventure!
Steve punched the air and they powered down the river at a breakneck pace towards the book-shaped castle that was just beginning to loom on the horizon.
Wait, who's that? Seriously, who is that in the corner? Oh well. Either we'll find out, or it's probably just one of those little quick cameos.
Just for the record, I'm sure Thornquill is a perfectly nice guy and super good friends with the other narrators and a swell, stand-up, generous, wonderful character in general.
But
I kinda completely fucking hate him right now.
Rainbow! You promised to stop cursing so much!
Panda stared.
You curse?
With the life I lead? Of course I fucking curse.
Does she?
Yeah, Pinks. But you gotta admit, this isn't a regular situation.
fair enough.
Demands a few cusses.
You're making Stevie blush!
Oh, don't worry about me, my dear. Salmon have the worst potty mouths, and the girls that frequent the river are positively gauche. I'm quite used to bad language.
Fuck, shit, piss, bastard, bitch.
Everyone stared at Mommy.
What was that for?
Midori asked.
Just trying to get this thing demonetized to punish the author for all the vomit jokes. Cunt.
Is it wise to do
You know,
that?
kill if it is.
Don't give a crap,
I understand where
bitch.
Steven's coming
Feeling
from.
like death warmed
'Cause my
over
mother
and
is
wanting
kinda
to
the
just
same way.
go the fuck home to my wife now.
People
So,
will,
can we please
swear,
just rescue
but I'll keep
everybody,
telling them after
make a
they
couple
apologize.
of hit or
I'm
miss
used to it.
witty
My mother's from
one-liners and
Brooklyn.
declare the end already?
Not to rain on your parade, my dears, but do, any of you have an actual plan?
Steve's sinuous body writhed to a stop beneath the water.
Because just like the posh Canterlot debutante shouted at her date on prom night, I'm arriving.
Oh.
As one, the would-be rescue party stared up at the castle. It was a riot of turrets, battlements, and spires twisting toward the heavens like something out of a Gothic nightmare. Dark roof tiles glittered everywhere, offsetting the startlingly white walls and dazzling stained glass windows depicting scenes from great literature. And every single scrap, save for the glass, was made from books.
Mama Luna would love this.
Well, if she wasn't trapped inside as a captive.
Panda's face hardened into an angry mask.
We're coming to rescue you, Mama and Papa.
Panda breathed.
Oh.
Steve asked in a reasonable display of basic logic that 99.9% of Hollywood script writers failed to ever acknowledge in their work.
It seems pretty impenetrable.
He stroked his chin, twirling his beard absently around one claw like a 90s teenager with a phone cord.
Then again, I said that about the Kraken once upon a time, and I was wrong too. Too bad that beast was such a commitment foe. Always the call of the sea this and Jack Sparrow that.
He fell into a harumph, deep enough to be considered an undersea trench. Midori raised a hoof.
Midori?
Can I make a suggestion?
She quailed a little at the sudden number of eyes on her, reflexively grabbing at her necklace like a comfort blanket.
Cloudy, aren't you a unicorn?
Well, yeah. Sort of.
And can't unicorns... Wait, sort of?
It's a long story.
Midori blinked myopically.
There's a story there.
Well, what I was going to say was, can't unicorns teleport?
Not all unicorns.
Midori deflated.
Oh.
She is right.
A flash of periwinkle blue magic appeared.
Oh, no.
A moment later, one world-class, stone-cold, insane alicorn stallion was there amongst them.
But I'll sure try. Shit!
Cloudy yelped. Her horn glowed, aura surrounding everyone else.
Ooh, tingly.
Squealed Steve.
Not
With a
open.
resounding pop, the world whited out for a second and then coalesced into velveteen hallways and a chandelier still trembling at their arrival.
Well, that worked.
Wow.
Cloudy smiled triumphantly.
I didn't know I could do that.
You mean you
Still
never
smiling, she keeled over onto her face.
Big sister?
This would
Panda
make sense
galloped to
considering
her
she
side.
used a lot of
Tiffany.
magic to get them all in there, including Steve Magnet, and he
Cloudy
is
said
big.
intelligently.
Big sister Cloudy?
Seriously, it makes a lot of sense that she would faint like that. Because depending on the level of power any magic wielder would
She
have.
overtexted herself.
Pinky hopped over.
Yeah, pretty
Twilight
much
used
that.
to do this all the time. I started keeping these on me all the time just in case.
Huh?
She forked over a slightly
Heyday.
squashed candy bar.
Where were you keeping that?
It's Pinkie
Mommy
Pie, don't
asked
question
doubtfully.
it.
Are you sure you actually want an answer to that question?
Rainbow Dash deadpanned.
Case in
Mommy
point.
thought for only a moment.
Nope. So, before the maniac magic horse poofs amongst us again, how about we make with the rescuing, bitches?
Ooh,
Steve sparkled.
I'm an honorary bitch. What a privilege.
Oh, good grief.
Pinkie Pie's hair pronked.
Huh?
She turned, aligning her body with its insistent
Pinky?
bounce.
This way, britches.
Whoa.
Pinks, that's not the word she used.
This way, britches.
It's Pinkie
Oh,
Pie.
whatever.
Then again, I replace the F with the B, so instead of saying that word, I'll occasionally, if it ever hits me, to say buck. 'Cause I
Thornquill
hate
stared at the
swearing.
spot where the invaders had been, then up at his castle. He sighed gustily.
Oh boy.
How vexing.
Something prickled in the back of his mind.
Huh?
He pushed it away like an unfiled tax form with a month left before the deadline.
Wait a minute.
Very vexing indeed.
Oh no.
In a puff of magic, he vanished again.
Oh. Guys, I don't think this is Thorny we're dealing with. Crazy as this sounds, the fact that Despio just mentioned that something was trying to come up to the front of the mind, either that's his guilt and consciousness, or conscious trying to tell him that it's wrong, or that was the real Thorny trying to break free. And considering what Luna went through, becoming Nightmare Moon, and there have been a lot of fanfics with the theory that it wasn't really Luna doing all those things, but something taking over her. So, granted, this is just a theory, but chances are Thorny might be going through the same thing. That when he got these alicorn powers, he didn't just get a power. Something might have entered his mind. So now that it's probably taken over, well, it's either that or the magic somehow created a second mindset for him. Because seriously, even if he was trying to stop the shenanigans, even I could tell that he wouldn't normally do this. The fact that he's trying now to spread it to the Brony community and plans to do it for all eternity, yeah. This is really getting the whole Nightmare Moon vibe. And chances are it won't even stop there. And yeah, this next video was actually an April Fool's thing, so. And obviously, oh, April Fellers out. Routine like done took its toll and finished so I cooked a little something a day and a half. Ah, yeah, this is just their April Fool's video that it was gonna be the next part, but quarantine, thanks to this whole mess, kind of derailed that plan. In fact, what day was this uploaded? Yep, April 1st. Sounds about right. So, at least this was a good way to get a giggle for everybody. But, yeah, we're not here for that. We are here for the next part of the story itself. And if I'm not mistaken, this one's over 40 minutes long. So let's hope my computer lasts that long, even with the fan in the background. Here we go. Especially if it's my best. Well, at least they're nice enough to leave that. Or leave that warning on. This is a little loud. Just a little. Just to see if my tablet is... Okay. Thankfully, voice is on. Especially for my voice. Ugh. I swear, if it isn't one day, it's another with when it comes to my streams. Anyway, here's part 5 of Alethornication. Oh boy. I have a feeling this is gonna get really hectic for these guys.
Bitch.
Mommy murmured, sotto voce.
Fuck. Shit. Crap.
Trotting next to her, Midori asked,
Are you still trying to get this story demonetized?
No, at this point I'm just venting. And starting to understand why the power-mad book pony hates this time of year.
And this is nothing compared with the previous Aprils.
Pinkie Pie grinned.
Well,
We haven't even had an impromptu song number about sandwiches made from unmentionable bodily discharges yet.
Fuck.
Mommy hissed.
Again, she's not wrong.
If anyone starts singing about sperm hot dogs or menstrual milkshakes, I quit.
Pinkie Pie opened her mouth.
Pinky,
Pinks,
don't.
do not make that joke. I'm warning you. I can already tell what joke you want to make. And I'm telling you, do not make that joke.
Dash warned. Pinkie Pie shut her mouth.
Yeah.
Spoil sport.
How are you okay with making lewd jokes, but not with me cussing?
Because.
That's not an answer.
Is so.
Is not.
Is so.
Is
You'd
not.
think they would marry.
So.
Is not.
Or at least the voice
so.
actresses.
Is not.
Is so.
Is not.
Is so.
Aren't canon characters supposed to be well-rounded, developed, interesting, and not annoying?
Mommy gritted.
Oh, I'm getting such a migraine.
I'm
used
sure
to it.
we'll find them soon.
Midori tried to soothe her.
Yeah, about that. Are we coming up with a plan like Steve suggested, or are we literally just gonna wing it when we find them?
Well,
Chances are
the
you're
way
gonna
I
have to wing it.
figure it.
Said Cloudy from where she was riding Steve's back like an ancient, slightly squelchy Valkyrie, her legs still too wobbly to walk on.
Poor
If
thing.
we could just get Magpie or Scribbler free, they can use their magical author powers to fix everything. Like they did before.
That might be harder
Yeah.
than expected.
Simple.
Of course.
Rainbow Dash didn't invest her tone with much conviction.
Oh, come on.
Well, it
There.
worked every other time. I don't see why it wouldn't now, too.
You'll see in a moment.
Panda murmured in a wash of vocal hellfire that absolutely did not compute with her cutesy-wootsy appearance.
Yeah, it's because she's kind of scary now.
Nice plan, my dear, but a little scarce on the details.
Trilled Steve.
Which way now, Pinks?
At Dash's question, Pinky's hair sproinged to the left.
This way. Oh, super, we're almost there. I can feel it.
Oh, boy.
Wonderful, my dear.
I'm coming, Goomy.
Panda, use your inside voice.
Bitch.
Mommy looked behind them.
Does anyone think it's weird that Thornquill knows we're here and hasn't chased us, or...
Oh, you had to jinx it, didn't you?
Pinkie Pie opened the door marked Library.
anything? Holy cockwaffles.
Oh,
Everyone
boy.
stared. and stared. And stared some more.
Oh boy.
And then, just for variety, they stared some more.
Don't blame them.
Okay,
Mommy swallowed her suddenly dry throat.
we may be absolutely fucked.
Ya think?
Not in the good way.
Pinks, not the time.
He wanted them to find him.
As I suspected.
What?
There was no need for me to chase you when you're all so brainless. You made your way right to where I wanted you.
As one, the entire group jumped in the air and turned around, which resulted in a slippery, slidey sort of thump from Steve and a yelp from Cloudy on his back. Thornquill stood in the doorway, resplendent in his dictatorial decorations and wreathed in a corona of purplish black magic that made everyone's fur puff out like angry but strangely adorable cats.
I
Billy!
hate this author.
Mommy murmured, patting down the yellow chest fuzz that was now obscuring her vision.
Time to be booked.
Thornquill's horn flashed.
Wait!
Huh?
Pinky's screech was enough to bring even him to a stop.
This isn't how it's supposed to go!
Wait, what?
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 To be perfectly honest, Thornquill's expression of befuddlement, which was at the complete odds of his evil villain headgear, was so adorable that a few pigeons on the roof fell off from the sheer sense of, aww.
You're supposed to moan like your plan to us and tell us what's going on, and fill in all the blanks so that the audience who haven't been following the story closely enough, or just had it open in another window whilst they did other stuff online, are able to appreciate the big final confrontation.
Oh, Pinky.
Thornquill blinked.
I mean, she's not wrong, but...
No.
What?
Thanks!
Rainbow whooshed
No!
into the line of fire.
Oh, no!
Moments later, a cyan book flopped to the floor, still
Well,
crackling with
they
speed
certainly got their
force,
idea
or
now. What happened?
whatever that magic that makes her go fast is. The multicolored font reading Rainbow Dash glowed for a moment before locking into place.
No!
Pinkie Pie burst into
Oh,
tears.
no.
Rainbow! This isn't how things are supposed to go!
Pinky, run!
I'm an author. You really think I'm going to adhere to cliches that will blatantly ruin my plans? I'm not Syndrome.
Can we, get a jet engine in here to suck that cloak of yours into?
Every pony scatter!
Mommy tackled
Good
the
thinking,
still
Mommy.
crying Pinkie Pie and dodge rolled behind a bookcase.
This isn't how it's supposed to go!
Pinky, I get it, but crying
This
isn't
isn't
supposed...
supposed to go!
Pinky!
Call it a subversion of expectations.
Thornquill grinned.
Have you read Heteropaternal Superfecundation?
What?
I'm good at those.
Don't even know what those words mean!
Neither do most of my readership, but they still upvoted it 78 to 3.
I'm sorry, but are we seriously having this conversation right now?
No!
Thornquill, let every pony go already. This is beyond a joke.
Yeah!
And
you just booked
who
the
are
fight
you
Rainbow
again?
Dash.
The click of hooves against stone slabs made Mommy retreat further into the teeming stacks, dragging Pinkie Pie behind her.
Because it seems to me like this is very much the B team, since, I already took out every pony else.
Your competence as an unexpectedly, pants-shittingly scary villain is not up for debate.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh! Come on, Mommy! What?
There was a flash and a cry from Steve, followed by a particularly heavy thump of book bindings.
Because there is no debate.
Steve!
Cloudy cried.
You didn't even get to serve any narrative purpose. Was the author asleep at the wheel when she wrote you into this story? Oh, falling! Ouch!
Big Sister Cloudy.
Get away, Panda!
Yeah, guys,
Oh,
run!
how cute.
Man.
Thornquill laughed. It sounded like something out of a nightmare and made everyone, including the author, wonder when and why the narrative decided to turn so legitimately dark all of a sudden.
Uh-huh.
Sisterly protectiveness. Unfortunately, it won't save you.
Get behind me, Panda.
No, you get behind me.
No, you get behind me.
No,
Guys,
you
don't
get
argue.
behind
Run!
me.
No, you get behind me.
No, you.
And now it's annoying.
Yeah.
Mommy peeped out in time to see Cloudy ignite her own horn and throw a bookcase at Thornquill. And she took the opportunity to grab Panda and make a mad dash for cover.
Good.
Since he was between them and the exit. Thornquill emerged a half-second later, books exploding off of him like something from a Madhouse anime action scene.
I'd be careful throwing these books around. They are, after all, your friends and family.
What the fuck?
Mommy fumbled as a book bound in black leather and bedecked with pink and blue text skidded to her feet. It was labeled Scribbler. Possessed of sudden desperate hope, she grabbed and opened it to find half the pages empty and the other half filled with neatly typed print detailing the life and times of a fanfic author and narrator that culminated with her hiding in a hotel room in Trottingham before being ambushed and turned into a book.
What?
Fuckedness.
Mummy?
What?
Is that you reading me?
The words appeared across
Scribbler?
the page in a scribble of magic. Mommy blinked.
Holy smokes!
Yeah?
Holy shit, what the bloody hell are you doing here?
What do you think?
The plan was me, Midori, Panda, Cloudy, Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, and Steven Magnet, for some reason, coming to save you guys, but,
Mommy looked over her shoulder to the still sniveling Pinkie Pie.
Pinky.
Somewhere else in the stacks, Thornquill chuckled.
It kind of all went to Tartarus in a tube top, and now the plan is just to not die.
Yeah, thanks.
Sounds depressingly familiar for April.
Tell me about it. Next year, I am totally vacationing for this entire fucking month.
Tried that, didn't work. Now I'm a sentient book.
Is everyone who got transformed sentient?
Yep. Can't talk, move, or do anything remotely useful, and we're all trapped on shelves in alphabetical order, but we're still capable of thought and emotions, and we can hear everything going on around us.
Wait.
We just can't do anything about it.
Sweet Celestia, that is excessively horrifying.
Yeah.
Who knew the greatest legitimately terrifying threat Equestria would ever face would be Thornquill?
I know, right?
Hey Scribs, it's fun chatting and all, but what the bitch-titting fuck are we supposed to do now? How do we stop Thornquill's mad rampage?
That's good.
If I knew that, do you think I'd be a sentient book right now?
Scribbler's outrage was indicated by the sudden introduction of bold text that glittered faintly at the edges.
Fucking touche.
Mommy grumbled.
Cygnus alicornified Thornquill in the first place, though Thorny turned on him, so I think at this point he's already paying a high price for his fuckery.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll know how to stop him.
And
Yeah.
where is Cygnus now?
Shelved under cosmic horror.
Mommy looked
Fair
up to see the aisles of Thornquill's library had all been helpfully signposted by genre. Of course, horror just happened to be on the other side of the whole room.
Of course.
Because, of course, it was.
Take me with you!
Tucking Scribbler's book under one wing, Mommy entreated Pinkie Pie to stay put and started trying to ninja her way along the bases of the bookshelves. The problem with being a bright lemon-colored horse, however,
You can't ninja
is that
your
it
way.
makes ninjaing incredibly difficult, as you tend to stand out like a lemming drowning in a vat of molasses.
Yeah.
Found you.
Ah, crud!
Thornquill
Run!
hummed.
Fucking fucksticks on toast.
Yeah,
She
think?
turned a corner on a hairpin curve.
Huh?
Thornquill's blast of magic hit where her hind hooves had been milliseconds before.
Guys, if any of you are listening, Scribbler says to find Cygnus's book.
Mommy shouted at the top of her lungs.
Cosmic horror. Hurry!
On it!
Cloudy shouted.
I'll teleport to it.
No, big sister, you already used too much magic.
Cloudy's response was
she's
to
got a
totally
point.
ignore Panda and teleport
No,
anyway.
don't!
Got it!
She yelled, before passing out and falling on her face again.
Ugh. Ah,
Wow.
crud.
You certainly are the B team, aren't you?
Thornquill snickered, appearing next to her. Cloudy's outline flickered. A green line of magic traveled up her exhausted body, enveloping it in a sickly fire and revealing the truth beneath.
Wait. No. What? She's a
You're a
changeling?
changeling? Wow. That's such a cliched pony Sona. I'd swear it's 2012.
He bent
That
to pluck
doesn't-
the Stygian black book from her nerveless grasp.
Stygian?
You leave my big sister alone, you big duty head.
Oh.
Something glowing with iridescent purple fire cannoned into him,
explains the sisterly
slamming him
bond.
backwards into the wall. A Thornquill-shaped indentation added itself to the library's already gothic decor. He grunted, looking up at the suddenly much taller pony looming over
Whoa.
the prone unicorn.
I will flay your flesh from your bones and consume your still dripping viscera. I will rip your heart from your chest, crush it in my hook, and drink your still warm lifeblood from it. I will pull your lungs out through your neck and eat them raw.
You're a changeling too?
Thornquill
boy.
coughed.
But wait. Changelings don't eat meat.
The thing that was once Panda
Well,
grinned,
I have a feeling this one
revealing
does.
serrated fangs and a forked tongue.
Oh,
Her
crud.
glowing eyes did not stop glaring hatefully at it.
We're a fan-created subspecies of changeling, you dingus. We don't follow normal rules.
Oh, great. Just fucking great. Also, duty head, is that seriously the best you could come up with?
Panda's reply
Whoa.
was an unearthly howl and a blast of her own magic from her newly revealed horn.
Dang.
Thornquill, in true anime villain style, unleashed his own raw magical blast, and the two bright, brilliant beams of beautiful, bull-headed brute force clashed in a spangly smash of fireworks, knocking them both backwards.
Please tell me this is enough of a distraction for somebody to find the
Both
book.
dug their hooves in so hard that the slabs beneath them cracked and fractured, sending up pieces of stone so sharp they smashed a few of the stained glass windows. Mommy was thrown backwards by the backblow of wind.
An anime fight. This author seriously wrote in an anime fight. What the actual fuck?
Scribbler's book fell to the floor, pages flipping wildly. More books fell around her, lines of screamed curses scrawling across their pages in silent terror. Mommy caught sight of a few as she tried to stop herself from becoming street pizza.
Goody, this is still your fucking fault! That's it. Thorny is totally off my hearth-swarming card list this year.
My precious fucking babies! Ah!
Mommy lost her grip on the floor and went spinning into a plinth, which smashed over her head.
Ah! Oh!
That's it. I officially hate you all. I hate all of this.
Mommy!
And I especially hate the entire fucking concept of April 1st and how it has made me its butt monkey.
Yes!
Ah, shoot.
Thornquill gave a yell, putting on an extra burst, and slammed Panda to the ground in the magical equivalent
no.
of a headlock. He rounded on Mommy, eyes wild.
Oh, no.
Yes!
Wait, what?
He cried with the kind of uninhabited joy that could have
What?
stripped chrome from steel.
Oh, no.
Finally! Some pony who gets it!
What?
Oh.
He stalked towards her, causing
Here
her
we
to
go.
scramble backwards on her butt so fast a plume of smoke rose from her singed fur.
Oh, boy.
This time of year! It's awful! So damn awful! It's enough to drive a pony mad! Don't you agree?
He loomed, smile stretching literally from ear to ear, pupils mere pinpricks.
Oh, boy. Yes?
Mommy, transfixed like a deer in headlights, struggled to respond in some way that would diffuse the situation in the safest manner possible. The only trouble was that being stared down by a deranged alicorn with the power to turn you into a sentient book and keep you in his library for the rest of your painful, unholy existence has the side effect of evicting every single piece of dialogue from your brain with the psychological equivalent of a flamethrower. And so Mommy, fumbling for something to say, fell back on her old and trusted friend.
Don't say it.
Bitch?
Words appeared in Scribbler's book.
Well, bollocks.
Thornquill roared in outrage.
What'd you expect, you jerk? You're scaring her!
This is not how it's supposed to go!
Which was when Pinkie Pie dropped between him and Mommy like a neon bullet.
Pinkie Pie!
Not doing it right!
She yelled through her tears.
I refuse to let the literary cycle dictate what I do!
Thornquill screamed back.
Pinkie!
With a zing and a pop, a sugary pink book smacked onto the pile, dislodging a green one with red and silver edgings. It slid down the pile with what could only be described as a sad plop, coming to rest on a gray paperback emblazoned with a soundbar cutie mark.
Papa Goody!
Panda shrieked. She struggled to get to her feet, only to be held down even firmer by Thornquill's rampant magic.
Oh, no.
Get your paws off my sister!
Cloudy slurred groggily.
You are all so annoying!
Thornquill snarled.
All I wanted was some peace and quiet at this time of year. But could I get it? No. You creatures couldn't let me have that one simple thing. It's always the same. Every April it's the same, and I am sick of it. I am sick of being the butt of everyone's jokes. I am sick of being dragged into these stupid, immature, ridiculous shenanigans over and over. Just for once, I wanted peace and quiet for April and to not be its butt monkey. Well, if you won't give me peace and quiet voluntarily.
You aren't even letting them! No!
His horn flashed twice, and Cloudy and Panda vanished,
No!
replaced by bookish versions of themselves.
No.
I'll just take peace and quiet by force!
Weren't you basically doing that before?
Absolute cockhead!
Mommy hurled a piece of the broken plinth at him.
You shit-brained, pencil-dicked, arrogant fucktit!
He spun to face her.
And as for you...
Oh boy.
Mommy braced herself, grabbing the first thing that came to hoof and holding it in front of her like a shield.
After what you said, I thought maybe you'd understand.
Thornquill thundered.
But apparently not. And so you can join them.
Huh?
The voice that boomed through the ruined library was not a pony voice.
Uh-oh.
It was not even a changeling voice.
Oh.
It whirled and swirled and created an audio vortex that drove into their ears and demanded they pay attention in a way Mommy hoped to never hear again.
Oh.
So, of course, it spoke again a second later.
Midori?
Oh dear.
Mommy squinted myopically.
Is that you?
An ankh necklace on a broken chain clattered to the floor, followed swiftly by a large body. Gigantic paws, each as big as a pony, braced themselves against the impact, claws unsheathed. The powerful muscles that bunched and writhed in absolute fury were only slightly less terrifying than the gargantuan feline head and its rows of jagged fangs and angrily spread wings. One of the paws swiped out, snatching the green book Mommy had been using as a shield out of her hooves.
She's...
Thornquill's jaw dropped.
A sphinx? But they're supposed to be extinct.
Apparently not.
His brows drew together.
This shitty time of year strikes again. Ugh!
I try to be nice. I really do. I try to be understanding and considerate. I can forgive a lot of things. But you, Thornquill, you really take the cake. You've done the absolute unforgivable.
The giant green sphinx leaned forward.
Oh no.
You hurt my Gumi, and you made Pinky cry.
Ah! Thornquill threw raw magic at her.
Oh yeah, Thornquill's
She brushed it aside with the wave of her paw.
You think puny pony magic can affect me when I'm like this?
And plus,
he fired off the
has
book
a
spell.
point.
She caught it in midair, turned it into a neat glowing bow tie, and threw it back at him.
Huh?
He leapt aside, letting the remains of the plinth become a gray tome labeled, "Plinths Have Feelings Too."
You complain and whine and moan and gripe and bellyache and kvetch and whinge about wanting ponies to not drag you into April shenanigans. But look around you, Thornquill. You caused all the shenanigans this year. No pony else was doing anything even remotely shenanigan-y until you came along and caused the chaos you hate so much. You have literally become what you hate most.
He froze.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
He said in a small voice.
Hurts, doesn't it?
You're the one perpetuating a cycle of shenanigans. Is that really what you wanted?
But they... No.
Thorny.
Of course not.
Then why the Jesus mothering fuck did you transform half of Equestria into books and stuff them in your library? Was that really necessary? Really? Because it seems like overkill to me. Could you not have, I don't know, created a pocket dimension with blackjack and hookers and put the other narrators into it on a vacation for a few days? Or sent them off to Disneyland for a long weekend? You're an alicorn now, somehow. There had to be other options than torturing everyone by turning them into self-aware paperbacks.
Says a lot when
Thornquill suddenly sounded on the verge of tears.
Some of them are hardbacks.
Dude,
Seeing
you're not
the
helping your
slavering
case.
sphinx's expression suddenly melt into something akin to motherliness was
Wait.
an odd experience, Mommy thought.
Come on now, Thornquill. It's time to put this right.
Put it... You mean... put everything back to normal?
You have to.
A strange light ignited deep in Thornquill's eyes.
Huh?
Mommy did not like the look of it one bit.
Oh no.
Revert things to the status quo? No character growth? No lasting change? Just back to the way things were, like always?
Well, that's not quite how I would have put it.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me!
Mommy clapped her hooves on her ears at Thornquill's unholy, wordless screech. She instinctively curled into a ball as the blast of raw, unmitigated, furious
Please tell me
power
the
that
book she's holding
radiated
is the
off
one she
him
was
sent a
looking for.
radius of crushing wind towards her and everything else in the room.
Oh, crap. Not again.
She slammed into the bookshelf, several books following suit, making her look like a really bad Nightmare Night costume of The Joy of Reading. Her view
Not
of
helping.
Midori and Thornquill squaring off against each other was obscured by a book that splayed across her face.
Please be the
We
book.
are not living in an 80s cartoon where everything gets reset at the end and nobody remembers the lessons they should have learned. Lessons must be learned.
Well then, call me teacher, because I'm about to school your ass.
Whoa!
Ah, Midori. That was an awful pun.
Mommy grunted, pulling the book off her face and dropping to her hooves as the wind abruptly
Please
died
let this
and
be
the
the book
sounds
she
of a
needs.
Sphinx on Alicorn battle erupted.
Oh, please let it be.
She watched for a few seconds, genuinely flummoxed as to what to do.
Bitch. I am so not cut out to be the heroic type.
The book in front of her glimmered briefly.
Are any of us really?
Oh, thank goodness they found him!
Mommy glanced at the cover.
Fuck a duck. Cygnus! Scribbler said you'd know how to stop all this madness?
If I knew how to stop it, do you think you'd be bending my spine and bunching my pages the way you are right now? Also, stop doing that. I'm a library book. You have to take better care of me.
Dude, not the time!
Bitch tits.
It strikes me that you don't actually need me to do anything.
Wait, what?
Say what?
Overhead, Midori yowled and Thornquill let loose a barrage of thunderbolts that made the whole castle shudder. If they weren't careful, they were going to bring down the whole place, with Mommy and the booked-out pony still inside.
Well, you're an artist, aren't you?
Wait, what?
Not sure how you know that, but yes.
He's not suggesting what I think he's suggesting, is
not
he?
Be killed or transformed and consigned to a living hell of being a sentient book. How?
As master of the archives, I know a great many things, my dear. Like the power of meta-logic, for example.
Meta-logic?
What?
And the magic of creativity in a world where the authorial power of the written word can, and has, saved the day.
Oh.
Don't you think an artist might have some degree of sway in that sort of world?
Oh, he's got a point.
Fuck me. But I don't have my equipment or anything.
I refuse to believe you don't have at least one pencil on you.
Well, yeah.
She shuffled her wings and a few fell out.
But they're not good equipment. They're just my emergency pencils.
I think this is a good
This
emergency.
doesn't count as an emergency.
Thank you!
Midori ripped off a balcony and hit Thornquill with it. It exploded in a shower of bricks and burned
Get
wood.
to sketching right
It
now!
was the
Do
most
something!
spectacular off-screen battle Equestria had ever not witnessed.
Touche. Also, you're kind of a smug asshole, aren't you?
Every pony forgives me because of the voice.
Yeah, I can understand that. First time I heard you, I turned straight for a few seconds. It was weird.
Okay, forget it! Get to drawing! Something!
Thornquill blasted Midori through a wall and flew out after her.
If I may be so bold as to suggest you hurry the fuck up.
Yeah!
But I don't have any paper!
Wait.
Mommy realized in that moment that rolling one's eyes could be implied so hard it made her own eyeballs twitch.
Fine, fine. But when you end up covered in doodles, remember, this was your idea.
Fair enough.
Quickly, Mommy began to draw on Cygnus's book. It was the work of a moment to etch an angry Thornquill in full regalia in flight above the rough penciled wreckage of the library. Then, very carefully, she rubbed out his horn.
Good.
What the hell?
Did
She
it
heard him
work?
shout from outside.
Did it
She
work?
added a ball and chain to each of his hooves.
Ah!
It's working! It's working!
What is going on here?
It's
what
working!
did you do?
Me? I'm not doing this.
With a few quick strokes of her pencil, she added a cage around him.
Where did this cage come from?
Out of sheer shit-posting temptation,
wouldn't.
she added flowery garlands and a few ribbons to the bars. Then a sign saying, "Do not feed."
Oh.
Okay, now you're just taking the piss.
Seriously, I'm not doing this.
The external threat temporarily stymied, she turned her attention to the interior of the library, sketching out 4 panels and roughly depicting the image of a book morphing into a pony.
Thank
The
you.
odd slurping sound made her look up.
What in the name of all that is holy just happened? I feel like I just vomited up a dictionary.
You don't want
Then
to
ate
know.
it again. Then vomited it back up.
Hi, Scribbler.
Poor
Mommy?
Scribbles.
Can't talk. Busy saving the day.
Mommy sketched out more boxes. More slurping noises ensued.
I'm me again. Hello, me.
I feel like you've made this joke before, dude.
Papa Goody!
Mama Luna!
My babies! My dear, sweet,
Aw.
demonic babies!
Shit fuckering titties! Where's Thornquill? I'm gonna fucking murder him!
Yep, things are getting back to normal.
Ree! Just Ree!
Mag! We're getting rid of every fucking book we own in our home, okay?
Don't. Just don't.
Is that Midori's Ankh on the floor?
Uh-oh. He
Oh,
knows what that
boy.
is, isn't it?
Thanks!
Dashy!
Ah!
Finally,
good, she's back to normal,
Mommy pushed
too.
mane from her eyes and shook out her foreleg, looking out at the suddenly very full library.
Yeah.
Pitch, Rainbow Dash, Panda, and Luna hovered above the chuntering, milling crowd of earth ponies and unicorns. There was much hugging, some kissing, and smattering of just plain sitting down to take stock of what the hell was going on.
2 more to go.
Wait, 2 more? What do you mean 2 more? Oh, right, Stevie!
Oh, it's a party!
Steve cried, clapping his hands joyously.
Did we save the day? Is it time to celebrate now?
The narrators looked up like a sea of puppies watching a ball be raised for a good throw.
There's a sea monster.
Kate Bug deadpanned.
And Luna is hugging a couple of changeling queens, and we're in a busted-ass castle surrounded by books named after bronies I swear I follow on Twitter. What the fuck happened while we were out?
You don't want to
Do
know.
you really want the answer to that question?
No.
Chaotic asked.
Nope.
She thought for only a moment.
Nope.
Thank you.
Pony, get me out of here!
Nope.
The thin yell from outside caused everyone to still as though someone had hit a giant pause button on the universe.
No pony get in my way. I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Lost growled.
Lost.
Get in line.
Panda growled.
His liver is mine. I'm going to eat it with a nice Chianti and some fava beans.
You're too young to drink, Panda.
Luna chastised.
Every pony slow the fuck down.
Mommy barked. And to their credit, something in her tone caused them all to absolutely slow the fuck down.
Hey, well, that's a show.
Cygnus.
Oh, well.
I've got a little bit of page left. I'm gonna use it to do something a bit crazy.
Huh?
Be my guest, dear. Crazy is subjective these days.
Touché.
Mommy paused.
I gotta stop saying that.
Yeah.
She swiftly filled the remaining corner of Cygnus's book with a sketchy but recognizable sight.
Oh! The Alicorn portal.
A glowing portal opened above them.
Yay! We're free! We're free!
Oh, but I was just one DVD away from finishing the whole box set.
Dude.
Fine, fine. Rachel was annoying anyway.
A resonant sigh presaged the beating of wings, and 2 familiar alicorns appeared through the portal.
Never fear, the Alicorn army is here.
Yeah,
Well,
finally.
Some of us. Wherever here is.
Starry looked around.
If only you knew, Story.
You all seem to have been rather busy.
You have
since
no
we
idea.
saw you last.
Said Ilya lugubriously.
You have no idea.
Don't start. We've had such a fucking day.
Lost snarled. Wooten opened his mouth.
Don't say.
Don't you even, Wooten!
Scribbler snapped.
Thank you, Scribbler.
Wooten, thinking better of it under the circumstances,
For
shut
once.
his mouth. Mommy got to her hooves, tucking her nubbed pencil behind her ear and trotted forward.
Hi there, Mommy DeLugo. Nice to finally meet y'all. Could you perhaps fly me outside so I can finish saving the day and shit?
Ilya and Starry exchanged a look.
Just do as she says.
Scribbler massaged her temples.
She's the reason we're all ponies again instead of cheap paperback fiction.
Okay, so getting the story behind that comment later.
Yeah.
For now.
Starry ignited her horn and
Poor
levitated
Mommy.
Mommy
She
through
looks
the gap in the wall,
exhausted.
flying beside her with her mouth agape.
Ilya, there's a giant green cat creature out here.
That's a sphinx.
It's called a sphinx, Starry dear.
Thank you.
And Thornquill is in a cage.
For good
I
reason.
can see that.
And that castle behind us is made of books.
Mm-hmm.
So very getting the full story later.
Yeah.
Mommy pointed.
Oh, set me down here, please. And, stand by in case you need to get all lasery with your horns.
Huh?
Thornquill raged in his bonds as they descended.
You!
Yeah, me. Hi. I don't think we were actually ever introduced. Mommy DeLugo, artist and shitposter extraordinaire. That's Midori, Goomboss's girlfriend, and apparently ancient creature of legend that every pony thought had died out centuries ago and who is totally going to fucking explain that fact later.
Yeah.
Contrition creased Midori's brows.
It's a long story.
Doubtless. But This one just crested the 15K word count, and it's time to wrap things up already.
Yeah.
Mommy hopped down, untucked her pencil, and drew a tiny series of images along the edge of Cygnus's last page. This time, the noise was not a slurp so much as a blorp, like the noise of a digestive biscuit, left a second too long in tea, breaking off and plopping back into the cup to sink into its caffeinated depths. Cygnus's outline roiled for a moment, as if remembering how to form his proper shape.
Well now, that was an experience I shan't soon forget.
You think?
Or wish to replicate.
You're in the cage,
He
aren't
turned
you?
to the cage.
Thornquill.
Hello, Cygnus.
Thornquill grunted. Cygnus paused.
Actually, what am I supposed to say to you right now? I feel I'm supposed to have a speech prepared about all the things you've done, but I'm fresh out of words of wisdom.
Thornquill sank further into the collar of his cape.
Starting to get...
Just leave me alone. Everything went wrong, okay? It was all supposed to be perfect this year, and then everything went wrong.
Because you turned pink ponies into books!
I made everything go wrong.
Thank you!
Even when I was trying to prevent it, I made it happen anyway. Guess I'll never be able to stop this cycle. I'm destined to always be trapped in this endless rotation of chaos and resetting to the status quo, with me forever the butt monkey of these vapid attempts at comedy adventures.
Are you? Is he crying?
Oh, cried.
Midori's enormous feline behind hitting the ground made the entire landscape shudder.
Hey, my butt isn't that big. Now this author sucks.
Thorny.
Cygnus's tone softened.
I admit, when I transformed you into an alicorn, this wasn't quite what I had in mind for you to do with your powers.
This is your fault?
Oh yeah, he's in trouble.
Yes, that's a conversation for later, I feel.
Cygnus hastily returned his attention to Thornquill and away from the fluffing up Sphinx.
Yeah.
This was meant to be catharsis and closure for you. It still is.
What's the point? It's all going to reset again. We'll end things on a reversion to the status quo. Everyone will go back to Ponyville. There'll be one last funny scene of me getting my comeuppance. And then maybe a post-credits skit with Scribbler saying she's never going to do this kind of thing again. Which she will, because she always does. We always do. It'll happen again next year, and I'll just have to endure it, I guess.
Now hold your motherfucking horses there, mister.
What?
Mommy paused.
Admittedly, given we're all ponies, I could have phrased that better.
Thornquill grudgingly swiveled to look at her.
What?
He asked dejectedly.
Just have to endure it? Excuse me for saying so, because I've been a fan of your narrator's work for ages, but fuck that!
Huh?
Seriously, fuck that forever. No pony has to endure a shitty situation just because they feel like they're obligated to. So you didn't exactly deal with your stress of being in a shitty situation in an altogether healthy manner.
You can say that again.
But that doesn't mean you have to give up and accept reality as it is.
What else am I supposed to do?
It's actually not too far.
The universe has spoken. I'm destined to live each April being comedy's punchline.
Well, this year
with emphasis on the punching.
The universe can fuck off too. And destiny can fuck off. And fate can fuck off. And kismet can fuck off. And predestination can absolutely fuck off.
I'm starting to see this is her
sensing
favorite
a
phase.
theme here.
Yeah.
Said Ilya mildly.
It's a nice sentiment. And I appreciate you trying to comfort me when I was attempting to turn you into books half an hour ago. But seriously, what else am I supposed to do but accept that this is the way things are and will always be? No.
Thorn.
I tried to beat the system. And I lost.
Fuck the system.
Because of how you did
the
it.
system.
Starry punched the air.
What? Just because I'm cute and small means I can't link System of a Down?
And now I have to draw you in a leather jacket and lots of facial jewelry at some point, posed on a massive motorcycle. But that's for a later date.
I'm the fear. You need to make me look the part at least.
Starry, you're getting off topic.
Yeah.
Ilya chided.
Just a little.
Sorry, Ilya. I just really like the idea of her being able to draw to life anything she can imagine. I mean, how cool is that?
You realize you're already best friends with a number of authors who already write reality to match their whims, yes?
I know.
Yeah, but
art is so much cooler. Scribbler won't use her meta running powers to make me anything cool because she says I can't be trusted with sharp objects. And the one time I asked Magpie, she wrote me into a fairy tale as an adorable princess. I don't need to look cuter. I am the fear.
Of course you are, dear.
Don't patronize me.
Wouldn't dream of it.
But an artist like Mammy could draw so much cool stuff they wouldn't let me have. And as she worked with other artists, they could use all their meta art powers. Oh, wow, can you imagine? So many possibilities. They're like endless.
Starry practically fizzed at the possibilities. Mommy tapped her chin.
She's not wrong.
Actually, you may have just given me an idea of how to rectify this whole situation.
What?
Rectify.
Midori.
What?
I don't even want to know. But still, how are you gonna fix this? And we're still looking at a sad Thornquill. And of course, it ends. Of course. Well, technically it's to be continued, so have no idea what's gonna happen next. And honestly, I thought the climax of the whole mess would actually be transferred into part 6. The Wilson Storyteller Supreme. I should have seen that. Wow. Although these names, I can understand them. I can understand why they did the credits like this. Yeah, somehow completely innocent in all this. Still, at least so far, this is pretty awesome. Even if this was oh, Monty Python reference. But yeah, this is pretty darn amazing. And they haven't even brought up part 6 yet, and who knows when that's gonna be up. But considering how long this has taken and how amazing this all is, both story-wise and art, this is definitely worth the wait. Big time. And hey, to do the Aprilverse, it kind of makes sense. This is actually Pride Month. So, in a way, I unintentionally decided to watch something that involved a lot of different ships. Whether it's boy and girl and girl, or boy and boy. But yeah, that was a better love story than Twilight 4, Fornication, part 3 through 5. And I have a feeling that, oh, right. Again, I gotta learn how to do, right, because for some weird reason, this thing isn't, oh, whatever. Anyway, back to doing it like this. There we go. And, yeah, it was definitely worth the watch. And at least I only missed about 18 minutes of Fox's stream, and that's if he started already. I hope anybody who's going to be watching the recording of this actually enjoyed seeing my reaction to this. Again, this is actually pretty good, and there were some funny moments, but I think I got too into the story to appreciate the jokes. And like I said, considering that this is Pride Month now, I may have unintentionally found a way to celebrate it. Because I'll admit, I don't entirely know. Well, I am dating my boyfriend, and that's as far of my sexuality I know, more or less. But while being a Christian woman, I'm not exactly one of those Christians who condemn people for loving others of the same sex or their preferred sexes. I know, probably a little strange, but at the same time, it doesn't really bother me. Like, at all. Literally. Because I can even remember one time during a stage rehearsal with some theater groups, I actually saw one the male performers jump into the arms of another male performer, and I was actually more shocked at how strong the other one was. Though, them confirming that they were actually dating wasn't nice of them, but of course, Dopey Me didn't actually tell them that. I was more shocked at the jumping into the arm thing than them dating. Because again, it doesn't really bother me, and heck, even if there's a chance that is it is technically against the Bible, technically, but at the same time, that's not really up to mankind. I mean, yeah, kind of is, but only God can make that kind of judgment. Seriously, I guess it doesn't help that, at least looking through history, people have been condemning others for even just skin color, and I'm sorry. Even by the terms of the Ku Klux Klan, that was the stupidest thing you could ever do. Especially since more than half of these people who came to these countries, or at least in America, either they or their ancestors were forced to come here to be slaves, or they were trying to look for a better future in their lives, like those who came here from England did when they were trying to find another place to have the freedom to worship God in their way. And I will also admit, if both my stepfather and grandfather were here today to see what this country has become, or at least how worse it's become so far, at least appearance-wise, even they would weep, and not just the founding fathers. Anyway, I probably stop here, and again, whenever I get into these passion rants, I just don't know when to shut up. So, better stop here, at least before anything else goes wrong. So, with that being said, and hopefully I'll come back on Thursday for an actual gaming section. And you know what? Maybe by now I really should start on the actual scheduling, because half the time I'm either too lazy or I'm doing this around Fox and the Fedora stream since I don't want to miss them. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to try to maybe make up my own schedule, especially because I know there are some people who don't prefer Danganronpa or probably don't prefer certain other things, so at least thinking out loud, I'll probably do maybe one day of Danganronpa, another of the classic Final Fantasy VII, because let's face it, I need to finish that game, and I'll figure something out. Anyway, better end it here before this continues on longer than it probably should. So with that being said, this is Ashley Winsong, signing off. Wrong screen. Go figure. Bye.